Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Path Trading Partners along with Bob Icino, waited as long as possible. Don't see any Tesla quarterly delivery numbers yet. It's 5 o'clock Central Chicago time. So just wanted to get this video out there. If the numbers drop this weekend, that's going to be the deciding factor. If there's something major I see, I'll probably release a little update. Sell off today, closing just lower than yesterday's close, down from the open rally. Market rallied pretty strong back after the S&P made a new low. Again, this is why I don't like triangles. So break down from the triangle, and then it held. See, I'm calling this holding horizontal resistance. Let me take off these lines. Okay, we just dipped below it, forming a little short-term double bottom we'll take a look at. But if you still look at the macro picture, yeah, it's downward sloping. It's now like sort of a descending sloppy triangle. But it's still a corrective move. We still have the potential, and this is not, oh, it's got to go up. It's still just because we have the daily rotation zone. We're in an upward sloping channel. We have the daily rotation zone still holding. We have the 4-hour rotation zone still holding. It dipped down just below it, then it closed above it, and then a nice rotation back up. So we're still, according to all my trading plan and rules, it's still in bullish mode. Now, first warning sign is if we start closing below the 4-hour rotation zone, I need a close. Second warning is if we get a close below the daily rotation zone, coming in right now at about 754.50. We get a close below that, I'm going at least short-term neutral to bearish mode, watching for the pullback to the other side of this horizontal or this upward sloping channel. Until that happens, I gotta stick with the trading plan, which 4-hour daily and weekly are all still technically in bullish mode. I see some comments and people expecting bearish mode, and there could be really bad delivery numbers and this thing could gap down. There could be good delivery numbers and it'll gap up. I just have to go with the odds, and the odds say as long as especially the daily and weekly rotation zone are both sloping upward and the price action has not closed below them, then the odds favor pretty statistically relevantly that we will see at least a retest of the high area and possibly new highs. So that's the game plan for right now. The intraday price action, there was the option volume was it was still, you had 50,000 of the 820s, but that's nothing. We didn't have any killer option volume today. We were running over 120,000 most this week. The big block, I'll call it the big block option buyer, whoever that may be, did not show up in any force today at all. So didn't see anything. We had this nice little double bottom after a sell-off. Now this would have been a call, a judgment call, because we had some pretty decent downside momentum, but with this double bottom, the S&P started rallying also. Here were the targets, essentially the same whether you used aggressive and conservative. I'm just pointing this out. It gave you the target to the 773 area. You see the first target, nice little pause there, then going through the second target. Then, of course, which one was, I forgot which one was lower. 763.66, 763.70, so this was lower. Then the only pausing bar was about right here for the forward harmonics, which gave you essentially 774 coming up here, and then we didn't even have another pause, coming back to the prior support becoming resistance zone. You can see it right here just above that 778 level, then reversing and just remaining choppy the rest of the day. So going into Monday, let's look at our longer term, a little longer term, meaning the 1 hour for day traders. Then we'll go to the 4-hour daily and weekly. Key level I'm watching is still 778. I want a sustained move. When I say a sustained move, let me draw it back. This is not a sustained move. It's a little bounce above it. Then you watch for a retest. A little hint if it's going to sustain it is you watch for a retest, and then if in that vicinity, then you get another move up. This came, I was watching for a retest. No retest. I mean, it retested, but then it just didn't move up again. It just dropped. So this, what you want to see is, let me see if I can find something that's decent. You know, you want to, all right, pretend this level was higher right here. Okay, let me actually draw a level. Let's say we were watching for a key level right around this line here. So it breaks it. And then this is a retest, and this is a follow-through. That's the kind of stuff I want to see, not this. So when I'm talking about I want a sustained move above 778 on Monday, if we break through, I want to see that retest and then a move, or I want to see a series, as we've talked about many times, of momentum bars. Above there, first little areas about the 787, then I'm really keying off the 790, 791 area where we've had a fair amount of selling pressure. And if we get through there, 800, and then the levels pretty much stay the same, 809 to 810, 819, 830. To the downside, I'm going to watch, first little thing I'm keying off of. Now, we watch candle bodies, so you can start watching about 772.50. This, though, is what's the key support zone I'm watching is about 765.50 to 766.50. We have these two lows, and here was the major reversal move. You can even go 765 to 766.50. That's going to be my first little support zone in there. We break below that. I mean, that's 763 is right there. But then my first key level support is 759.25 to 760, and then 754.83. Let's see how that jives in with the 4 hour. And you see that zone that I talked about, those two lows, is right below the rotation zone. So I'm going to bump that up a little. So I'm going to go to about 765 to 767 is going to be my key support level. And yes, I can change things on the fly as I go through the charts. That's part of looking at your multi-time frame analysis and coming up with the game plan. So 765 to 767 is my support zone. If we break that, real close, 763.66, and the other two are right behind that. My other support being 755. 755 is right at the bottom of the daily rotation zone, so that's going to be very, very key for me. Below 755, then I'm all the way back down to the 731 to 735 area with the rising 50, and then below that I'm down at the bottom of this upward sloping channel about 701. So those are all my key downside levels. Those are the key upside levels. As I started off this, we're still, you can see this rotation back up. Now, initially it was looking like a little sideways. This did a nice pullback rotation. I put this into the pullback rotation. So now we've had the first upswing. So that's why it's now critical that the rotation zone holds, because if this starts crapping out, then we've retested it, and then the rotation zone will have failed. So I will go with the lower prices at that point. Again, I would rather wait for confirmation and do my trading plan around some price action confirmation than just saying, oh, we're going to have higher or lower prices. Everything's got to be statistically based for me. That's why even with that triangle, as I talked about, it's about 1.5 percentage points higher. Well, 1.5 percentage points higher does not really give me an edge. 20 percentage points higher gives me an edge. Even 10 to 15, but 1.5 does not. That's why I talked about that triangle. You can see here, here's that upward sloping channel line, still holding at the top, still in overbought condition on the weekly, and the weekly support coming in just above that 735 level. But I still like that little support zone. I'm going to might bump that up a little just to correspond these weeklies. So my first level of support on the weekly would be 739. 739. Let me go just double check this daily. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that like that. So 739 is my first key level support if we start breaking below the daily rotation zone. That's this prior high right here from April, the week of April 12th and the 26th, you know, with that little poke from the week of the 19th. And this little resistance ledge right in here from end of August, beginning of September. Then we just busted through it. So that's, again, resistance becoming support. Let me know what you think. If you get some delivery numbers that, you know, put them in the comments below. And again, if we have either a big beat or a big miss, something substantial, I'll try to get out another video this weekend and update any analysis. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.